Alright guys, so we're back, of course, with some more Cyberpunk 2077 information, some info, news, whatever you want to call it. I'm not somebody who likes to do too much videos about rumors and leaks necessarily, or potential release dates, but the info for this game is super light, man. There's just nothing really ever out there to talk about. Like, I don't know, are they just not doing interviews, doing the rounds about this, like, to talk about this game? I don't understand. There's just never really anything to talk about. So when something pops up regarding Cyberpunk 2077, you pretty much have to talk about it, otherwise you're just never going to be discussing the game at all. So what we have today is a potential release date, air quotes, for leaked release date, grain of salt, all that type of stuff. You already know what it is. And we're going to look at a couple smaller things just so the video is not too short and not just about one single thing. According to a new potential leak, CD Projekt Red's highly anticipated and incredibly ambitious PS4, Xbox One, and PC game, Cyberpunk 2077, will release this year on November 28th. There's been a few reported leaks and rumors that have placed the upcoming Cyberpunk role-playing game in 2019, but this is the first time a specific date has surfaced. The release date comes courtesy of Slovakian storefront Pro Gaming Shop. At the moment, it's unclear if the retailer actually believes this is when the game is releasing, or if this is just an estimation. See, that's not entirely true. There's a few things I want to correct as we get to it within this article. First up is them saying that there's been some rumors and leaks for, release dates, but none of them have had actual dates, and that's not true. We talked about it in our last Cyberpunk video. There was one that had October 18th as a supposed release date for Cyberpunk 2077, which turns out is like an iconic date when it comes to Cyberpunk 2077 and CD Projekt Red. As you may know, release date estimations are common by retailers, but normally they don't manifest in specific dates. Usually if a retailer is estimating when a game is releasing for the purpose of pre-orders, it puts down a placeholder, which is always something generic. Generic placeholder dates are always either the first or last day of any given month. In other words, this doesn't look like a placeholder date. So is it a mistake? It's possible. Is it an actual leak? Maybe, but even if it is, it could still be the wrong date. Now, me personally, I've never seen a placeholder date anytime other than December 31st of every single year. That's the only placeholder dates I've ever personally seen. Could be wrong. I've never seen a placeholder date on like October 1st or the 1st of any month, but whatever. Chances are it's inaccurate. One, because CD Projekt Red has said nothing to suggest the game will release this year, though a 2020 release seems likely. But two, because why would CD Projekt Red tell this retailer the date? You specifically don't tell smaller, region-specific retailers release dates ahead of time for this very reason. But who knows, maybe multiple retailers know of the date, but this is the only one that slipped. This was one of the other parts that I wanted to correct, is them saying that there's been no indication from CD Projekt Red that the game would even come out this year, and that's just not true. They've literally said if they can release it in 2019, they want to. So I don't know if the person writing this article is just ill-informed when it comes to Cyberpunk 2077, or they just are unaware of other things about the game, but yeah, they've got a few things wrong in this article. There's also the matter of the date itself. November 28th is a Wednesday. Big games tend to release on Tuesday or Friday. For example, CD Projekt Red's The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt released on Tuesday. Wednesday's an odd day to release a game. This is actually a good point right here, because games don't really ever come out on Wednesdays, especially like big games. And if we look at the last, potential leaked release date, that was actually October 18th, that's on a Friday. So not only is that date important and kind of iconic when it comes to CDPR and Cyberpunk 2077, it just happens to also be a Friday. Anyways, when it comes to these kinds of bits of news, rumors, leaks, and stuff like that, release dates, I don't put any stock into it because there's just no point. We don't know when the game's coming out. There's no point being hyping up any sort of date. October 18th makes the most sense. It looks good when you think about it. But again, we don't really even know if the game's going to come out this year at all. On to some other bits of information. This is something that's been out there for a while. I just didn't talk about it in my last video, but CDPR is actually hiring an illustrator to help make in-game ads for Cyberpunk 2077, and we actually get a good look at what an in-game ad's going to look like. So right here we get a good look at what one of the ads is going to be, and it looks like it says explosion of taste behind his hand, so that means it's going to be something along the lines of food or drink, possibly like a soda or an energy drink ad or something like that. We'll see these kind of ads as we're exploring around Night City. It looks like it's going to be kind of funny ads. Hopefully that's the case. Something similar to like the Grand Theft Auto series, and if that's the case, that's going to be awesome, because those are funny. Next up, we get confirmation that there will be a photo mode in Cyberpunk 2077. This is something that I used to not care about. I used to not even understand it. And then with a game like Fallout 76, I actually ended up using it quite a bit when I was playing that game, which surprised me. So I imagine in this game, I'm going to use it a lot more. And last up, this person actually asked the Cyberpunk account about subtitles and voices. And looking into it, I believe PTBR is Portuguese and Brazilian subtitles and voices. And they say that's the plan. This is actually pretty good information because not every game developer out there will go through the effort of adding like all kinds of different languages for subtitles and even voiceovers, like getting people to actually record all the lines within the game in a different language. That's insane, but it looks like they're going to do it. They did it with Witcher 3. I don't remember how many languages there were or whatever. Obviously, I only use English, so I have no idea. But the fact that they're willing to do that for this game as well is awesome. Anyways, guys, that'll wrap up today's video. It's not super crazy information, but we can only make videos about what information is out there, and it's just kind of light, man. I've been kind of saying that since I started covering information for this game and doing news for Cyberpunk 2077. It's just nothing really crazy's happened yet. I really hope it's not this quiet all the way until the E3 showcase for this game, because we still have like a month and a half till then. It's just like it's brutal out here trying to cover information for this game and news for Cyberpunk 2077 when there's nothing really ever to talk about. But as always, I pass it off to you guys in the comment section. Leave your thoughts down below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and want to stay up to date with more Cyberpunk 2077 information when we get it. Turn on notifications. Follow me on Twitter at @TheDashingDavid. I'm on Discord. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.
Give me forever for a while, give me forever for a while. Quit acting like a baby, or at least less like a child. Give me serenity, or at least just peace of mind.